The great thing about EDM is it's versatile. The only thing is, it needs to be really rhythmic and really creative. Now this loop mixes dubstep with UK drill vibes to make an audacious little banger. So I've actually started with little bits and pieces already. You've got a bit of drums and this sample that I'm going to try and chop. 150 BPM. Here's a drum pattern. It's a bit trash. Awful. So what we're going to do is drums first, of course. Let's get this popping. So this doesn't really represent dubstep and drill, this pattern. The kit should work though. Let's take away all this space. I personally like my drums dry. You can't have a lot of space around them because they come so frequently, you know? We do a drill pattern, but the sounds are not really drill sounds. They're more like electronic-y dubstep sounds, which should help us get the balance that we're looking for. And there's so much similarities between drill and dubstep and stuff, so... And I'm gonna just take that sound off the kick by making it shorter. Switch to classic mode, drop the sustain. That's it, simple. So we're gonna use some of these. They're very kind of like dirty UK electronic dance sounds, which is exactly what we need. I'm gonna do the very basic cliche drill pattern, and then we're gonna switch it up from there. See that little accent, we can just put that in already. Which is like here. We might change to triplet grid. Yes, triplets are important. We're going to use that like those guys use the gunshot sounds. But we're going to take out some of the bottom with this filter. I'll put the filter on, low pass. Bear in mind, I haven't produced for like a month. But don't cut too much out, like 60. But it might need its own reverb. Which, you know, sound designing while you create stuff is all good. And then a delay, right? 25%, got to get that filter right. That determines what actually echoes and what doesn't. And you don't want the bottom and you don't want the top, you want that middle. What if we move this? Right at the end, all of them. Yep, I don't like that one. Here, I'm just using my ears internally, you know. And a triplet at the end, I guess, will work better. Cool, now I can turn it into an 8 pattern again, 8 bar pattern. That one with the triplet can only come at the end. And then just little tiny ones of these. I literally dropped that in a random place, randomly, and it fits perfectly, which is wild. Those moments you want to just cherish and keep. Simple, like, I'm not really overthinking this. 2-step accents. Add groove to bring your drums to life. 50%. Yeah, definitely better. So now, the shaker, turn it down really. And then we can vary the velocity by 10. Try it by 5 instead. And if I'm gonna be a bit cheeky, just for the shaker part at the end, we can modulate the pitch, transpose. Show modulation there, right over here. Drop it down. Between down and up, there's different moods and emotions. Like, up is kind of like, it builds up again. Down is kind of like you're ending it. I don't want it to end. We've got to build it back up. So, chop this. How? Slice mode. Don't just use the sample as it is. I hardly ever do that. I always kind of make things my own thing, you know? Oh, this is gonna be mad. Cool, can double it like this. Turn the top one down. Oh, make the first one different. And it's just weird, so it needs reverb. Double that and make it better. Accident, keep that, try again, and then maybe change it. That one's very important. Might change to that earlier, I don't know. Cool, let's just get an 808 in there. keep that. Don't know what that was. Detune. What key are we in? D minor. So we're gonna put the scale mode into D minor and then tune the 808 to D minor. So everything goes up on the piano and down on the... See? That's not in the key of D. Cool, something like this. We're gonna change the 808 sound. Keep that one just in case we need it. Let's tune this up. Okay. Get the glide in. It's very quiet. Oh, bumper, quicker. Get an octave lower from that B flat. I don't think that's gonna glide very well. Okay, let's do this. Unless it's supposed to be portamento. Let's do an octave glide of that. Closer, get closer. Cool, drop it down again. Cool, what we want to do on that is actually control the length. So don't use one shot mode, use classic. Now I've got a better control over it. Make that one longer. Just before the beat. I need to do a more fancy glide thing. Woohoo. But first. Yes, and then get that. Copy, paste, drop an octave, right? You gotta be quick. And then we got 9 minutes 25. I would like to hear this an octave lower. I don't know if that should be an octave higher. Oh, wrong place. Yeah, these two. So let's do a saturator. We have presets, but I need to get into the new habit of dialing it in, and I want you guys to do the same. Soft clipping is always good. And to be honest, I'm gonna put a, what do you call it, a redux on it. Mwah, mwah. That last one could be a bit longer. Yes. It's the little things, I'm telling you. Oh, a saturator though, because you'll be surprised just how much saturation is used in all of your favorite records. But most of the time, it's just a little bit. What you need to do is gain stage it, so you want it to be exactly the same volume level, but just have the effect applied onto it. So we do -8 dB. Put it before the reverb. It literally just sounds thicker, like just put on a few pounds, that's it. Transpose. Modulation. So we're gonna try and get into that upper octave. Put it close. Filter out some of the bottom end of that snare. Because it's getting pushed into all these effects, it needs to be louder, like over here. I'm just gonna modulate it on this part here for the last beats of the bar. No. Too much. Cool, and then I'm gonna put a filter on the top of this so that it doesn't sound too bright. This track needs a little more EDM, so I'm looking for the right sample to get the job done. Now we need a dirty bass. That is important. Yes, sir. Nasty bass at the bottom. Like this. So I just doubled that keys put in an octave higher because I'm running out of time. Just gonna go try get some effects and just wrap it up. Maybe even just that. Yay! Cool, so now we've got this bass just... Okay. Too much. That's not bad. And then I just want to distort this a lot. 50%. This sounds good, but I don't have space for it. And to be honest, it's like... Accidents. A reverb on this one. That can just play out, fade out. Low cut the reverb. I don't know why. We're missing some high frequency, so I want to kind of use that somehow. Throw another filter on it. It gets a bit too loud. I could just automate the volume for the top part, which I'm going to do now. Actually modulate it, because modulation is all about relativity. So I want it quieter here relative to how loud it was before. Automation just changes it. Oh, okay, don't fade it out, just change. This 808, what if it was higher? It's getting to that point where you have the material. The only way to make it better is to develop the material. You can't just keep adding new stuff and throwing stuff at the wall and hope it sticks and sounds better because you added new things. It doesn't work like that. But I think that is incredible. Let me know what you learned from this tutorial, and if you think I managed to kind of blend dubstep and drill in a way that actually bangs. For more dubstep tutorials, click on the left playlist, but for house, click on the right playlist.